Welcome to another video about the RoboJetFloss floating cotton candy machine, brought to you by floatingcottoncandy.com. This video is about the brand new four-wheel cart designed specifically for this machine. The first thing you're going to notice about it is it's short. And I do mean it is short. But that is actually a good thing. Because the machine is known for shooting floss up into the air, having a really low platform is a great thing, because it means you don't have to have super long arms or be 7 foot tall in order to shoot cotton candy into the air and be able to spool it into a cone. Starting with a low platform is actually perfect, and that's why this machine is designed this way. It's a very low profile, low, small handle, everything's out of the way. It was actually custom designed for the machine. It has 4 caster wheels, unlike the previous cart that I had reviewed for the company. With 4 wheels, rotates very easily, can be simply manipulated. The deck is designed specifically for the size of this machine. If you look at the carriage underneath, the deck area here is perfect for carrying floss and straws, cones, or sticks, depending on whether you like to use plastic, paper, or wood. It comes with additional accessories, a cup holder. The cup is not included, but this allows you, and no, it's not actually a drink holder. This allows you to have water at the ready so that you can keep your sticks or straws soaking. Remember, if you're not familiar with the RoboJetFloss, the floss shoots in the air, you need to catch it on the stick. A moist stick is step number 1. That makes that first bit of floss really grab hold, as the sugar gets very sticky when it meets a wet surface. So this allows you to have water and sticks all ready to go. If you're familiar with the machine, you know that when you turn it on and off, you like to have the snow catcher on top of the floss head, so that loose flecks, or what we call snow, don't float into the air and, if you're indoors, make a mess. And even if you're outdoors, people don't really like that on their face and their hair. So there's a custom little tool here that allows you to hook that on and have easy access to it while you're working with the machine. The handle is exceptionally secure, which allows you to either push or pull the machine, and because all 4 wheels are freely rotating casters on 360-degree spindles, it's the most maneuverable cart I've ever seen, and all 4 can be independentely locked or released. So the versatility of this is amazing, and you may not be able to see it on the video, but these are heavy-duty casters. These are the kind of things you'd see on carts made to carry 1,000 pounds. So carrying a 36-pound cotton candy machine, this is over-engineering in a very good way. You can't see it with the machine in place, but the other nice thing about the deck is there's holes going through both the upper shelf and the lower shelf, so your power cord can be inconspicuously run out the bottom with no difficulty whatsoever. This platform, if you want to measure it at home and compare it to what you're using right now, is 18 inches. The two-wheel, two-handle cart that I've reviewed, and is a very nice cart, is at 22 inches. And I like that cart for having a low platform as well. Your typical tabletop or workstation area you're given at most areas is around 30 inches to 32, and that's much too high for these type of machines. The other really nice value here, you can't tell until you purchase it and get it delivered, is that this is a really well-built, well-painted, well-finished cart. There's no assembly required other than putting the wheels and the handle on. So this is not IKEA-type furniture. This is quality industrial built, and it shows. The only modifications that I made to it in terms of personal preference is I put on some magnetic hooks, because I like to have cleaning rag, dry towel rag, and I like to have a brush to clean my stator and my bowl handy at all times. So it's certainly not a fault of the cart. That's personal preference. Some people might hang that right off the handle. I like them down and behind where customers don't see them. And the other thing I noticed is that the hanging hooks here that they provide, which are awesome, when I was using it for the very first time, they would flap a little as I would take the snow cone tool on and off. Certainly nothing wrong with that, but it annoyed me. So what I went and is bought some thin magnetic strips, and adhesive on one side, magnet on the other. Not particularly strong magnet, just enough to make it hug the metal. And I did that on both the hook for the snow tool and also on the hook for the cup tool, so that they just hug the metal, because when you take it and travel with it, you take the hooks off and you put them in your totes or whatever you're using to travel. You don't want those sticking out. So a little magnetic tape on one side with a magnet on the other keeps that from flopping around as you're working. The extra holes here, by the way, if you can see them, is so you can attach the handle to either side, just based on your own personal preference. The one other thing I did was I took a little bit of vinyl shelving material that you would typically put in kitchen drawers, and a little spray adhesive. And I cut a little piece and I put it on either side. And again, I'm just ultra professional, or ultra picky, maybe you could say. I didn't like the fact that the snow tool would be metal on metal. I figure, one, it makes noise. Two, your snow tool does get sticky and hard to clean up the metal. And three, I figure eventually damage the finish. So I put a little piece of the shelving material on each side. This is a textured surface, so the sticky residue won't drip down. It sort of sticks on the bumps there. Makes it easy for me to wipe up afterwards. Protects the finish of the cart. I like the cart so much, I don't want the finish damaged, basically. And that way, when I plop this on there in production, you don't hear a metal on metal clanging every time I hang it up. Again, can't fault the cart for not having that, but it is just a little touch that I did. So for, I don't know, maybe $6 of modifications, I put on a couple magnetic hooks that I can take off when I'm loading it up and taking it away, and a little spray adhesive, and the vinyl cart with a nice texture so that it would grab the sugar that will accumulate while you're operating. And that's just to, again, clean up sound, keep from damage to the paint, and the textured version rather than smooth, so the sugar would stick there, not drip down the side of the cabinet, which may not happen depending on the environment you're in, but in a humid environment, you probably know that sugar can get sticky and be a problem. Otherwise, I would say that pretty much covers all of the features to the cart. It is just ideally engineered and built. The decal that comes with it does say Flying Cotton Candy. That can be peeled off and replaced with your own branding, so you can leave it if you like it, no reason not to, but you're not by any means stuck with it. If you want to get your own vinyl label or do custom painting any way you'd like to finish this, you can. The only preference for the two-handle two-wheel cart is that it's more flexible in terms of being able to use it for other machines, because it does have a larger platform. And if you're going to do any, I don't think the word traveling is appropriate, but if you're going to have to cover any ground, particularly outside parking lots, streets, gravel, this cart is perfect if you can set it in place and work with it. You can certainly move it around interior environments, carpeted environments, maybe a little bit outdoors. I mean, I wouldn't mind moving it 10 feet one direction or the other. But I wouldn't want to have to take this and drag the wheels, in an uneven parking lot, take it a couple hundred yards into a field, to do a football game, something like that. So it's a little more refined for those purposes, but where you can drop it in place, where you're going to actually be conducting your business, then it's perfect. But if I'm going to have to travel, move from street corner to street corner, cover any terrain, work out in the middle of the field, I do own the two-handle cart, and I would still prefer it for that kind of rough environment. And if you were going to want to use it for other machines, because this one is so perfectly designed for the RoboJetFloss, you may very well have difficulty using it with anything else. But the other thing I will say is it just looks so darn good. When you put this in front of an audience, with or without a bubble, put your promotional materials next to it, it's just so functional and attractive. I think it actually sets a better image for you and your business and your product when you're using it. So that's what we call the four-wheel cart from Robolabs, fit for the RoboJetFloss. And shipping for these carts is rather expensive. The carts themselves are priced very reasonable. Both carts are under $400, but do realize that because of their weight and their heft and how well they're built, shipping is expensive, but I can't imagine not owning one, and personally I own and use both. So again, that is my review, and again, stop by floatingcottoncandy.com for videos, blog articles, and advice. And if you are using a RoboJetFloss and you want all the insider tips and tricks, feel free to use the forum and ask for the hidden link on my site for the RoboJet Boss success guide, and I'll be happy to send you a link that has all kinds of extra information that I don't make publicly available. Thanks for watching the video, and I will see you next time.